The Abbott Nutrition Baby Formula recall in 2021 represents a significant public health and operational failure that impacted infants, families, and the national food supply system. The recall was initiated after reports of Corynebacteria infections in infants who consumed powdered formula produced at Abbott's Sturgis, Michigan facility. Several infants became seriously ill, and some deaths were reported, prompting investigations by the Food and Drug Administration and the Centers for Disease Control and Prevention. I chose this topic because I work at Abbott and saw firsthand the implementation of the recall. Through cause and effect analysis, defining the problem, divergent and convergent thinking, and decision making tools such as weighted ranking and PDPC, this presentation aims to develop a comprehensive and practical solution to prevent similar crises in the future. The Abbott recall began in 2021 when federal agencies received reports of severe bacterial infections linked to powdered infant formula. Although contamination was not conclusively found in all finished products, environmental contamination within the manufacturing facility triggered a voluntary recall in February 2022. The shutdown of the Sturgis facility significantly disrupted the U.S. infant formula supply chain. Because the industry is highly concentrated, the closure of one major production plant contributed to widespread shortages. Families struggled to access essential nutritional products, especially those requiring specialized formulas. This crisis exposed deeper issues in manufacturing practices, regulatory oversight, and supply chain resilience. Cause and effect analysis have revealed that environmental contamination was not the sole cause of the problem. Instead, it was the result of multiple interacting factors. Manufacturing issues included inadequate environmental monitoring systems and potential gaps in quality control procedures. Sanitation failures allowed bacteria to persist in the production environment. Regulatory oversight may have been delayed or insufficient in responding to early warning signs. Additionally, the supply chain lacked additional suppliers, making the system vulnerable to disruption when the facility shut down. After isolating the batch and confirming the initial retrieval of the product, the problem was expanded to include systemic issues. The why analysis uncovered deeper root causes related to regulatory delays and supply chain dependency. The final problem statement read as this: how can manufacturers and regulators improve environmental monitoring, safety controls, and supply chain flexibility to prevent contamination risks and product shortages in the future? Divergent thinking is a creative process used to generate a wide range of potential solutions without immediate judgment. Brainstorming sessions were conducted to explore solutions from multiple perspectives, including manufacturing, regulatory, and consumer viewpoints. The brainstorming process produced several possible solutions, including improving environmental monitoring systems, strengthening sanitation protocols, increasing regulatory oversight, enhancing communication strategies, and diversifying supply chains. The value of divergent thinking lies in its ability to expand the range of possibilities and encourage innovative approaches to complex problems. Convergent thinking involves evaluating and narrowing down a list of possible solutions to identify the most effective options. In this stage, solutions were assessed based on criteria such as effectiveness, cost, feasibility, and long-term impact. The analysis identified four key solutions: strengthening environmental monitoring systems, improving sanitation protocols, increasing regulatory oversight, and enhancing supply chain redundancy. These solutions were selected because they directly addressed both the root cause of contamination and the broader vulnerabilities revealed during the analysis. When looking at the problems from a different perspective, each of the selected solutions was evaluated using the devil's advocate method. For example, environmental monitoring systems were questioned for their cost and effectiveness, while supply chain redundancy was examined for its feasibility and economic impact. These evaluations revealed that while no solution is perfect, strengthening environmental monitoring provides the greatest overall benefit when combined with improved sanitation and oversight. The weighted ranking matrix was used to objectively compare the four selected solutions. Criteria were assigned weights based on importance, with contamination prevention receiving the highest weight. Each solution was then rated and scored. The analysis showed that strengthening environmental monitoring systems achieved the highest score, indicating that it is the most effective solution overall. The process decision program chart is used to plan the implementation of a solution by identifying steps, risk, and countermeasures. For this solution, the PDPC included steps such as installing monitoring systems, training employees, and establishing reporting procedures. Potential risks include high implementation costs, employee resistance, and operational disruptions. Countermeasures such as phased implementation, mandatory training, and automated reporting systems were identified to address these risks. The Abbott recall raises important ethical considerations related to consumer safety and corporate responsibility. Infant formula is a critical product consumed by a highly vulnerable population, which means that manufacturers have a moral obligation to maintain the highest safety standards. Using the effective solution formula, the effectiveness of the selected solutions depends on both its quality and its acceptance. Strengthening environmental monitoring systems represents a high-quality solution because it directly addresses contamination risk. However, the success of this solution also depends on Abbott's acceptance of the findings. Manufacturers must be willing to invest in new systems, regulators must enforce compliance, and consumers must trust the safety improvements. If either quality or acceptance is low, the overall effectiveness of the solutions will be reduced. The implementation of new monitoring systems may have environmental impacts, such as increased energy use or equipment waste. However, these impacts are relatively minor compared to the benefits of preventing contamination and protecting public health. Socially, the solution has significant positive effects. It improves consumer confidence, ensures safer infant nutrition, and reduces the likelihood of future shortages. By strengthening safety systems, the solution contributes to the overall well-being of society. The Abbott baby formula recall highlights the importance of structured problem-solving techniques in addressing complex organizational challenges. Through cause and effect analysis, problem definition, and decision-making tools such as weighted ranking and PDPC, this presentation identified environmental monitoring improvements as the most cost-effective solution. While no solution can eliminate risk, strengthening monitoring systems combined with improved sanitation and oversight provides a comprehensive approach to preventing future crises. By applying these strategies, organizations can protect public health, improve system resilience, and restore consumer trust.